This is your winter rundown 165. Let's get it. All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Rundown 165, and today is just me and Nam. Dan is, where did he say he was this week? Shit, I forget.
Dan's in Mongolia.
Mongolia.
Shredding it up, hitting the slopes out there.
Dude, does Mongolia have slopes?
They do. Yeah, they actually have two ski resorts.
Oh, I thought Mongolia was like desert like shit.
They have mountains.
Oh yeah,
they're north of China.
Hopefully he rides a helicopter or something up there. It's big mountains, you know.
He's not going that far up. Chill. He's not doing like Red Bull sponsored event.
This is Dan we're talking about. No, this is Dan we're talking about. He goes big or he doesn't go at all.
Exactly.
He was in Mario World the other day. Remember?
I know. No. He was in Little Garden.
Yeah, Little Garden. There we go.
Yeah,
one of them.
Yeah, so. He went to go visit Dory and Broggy and catch the fight.
He was just chilling up there with Usopp and they're watching them slug each other. If y'all didn't know. But yeah, Dan is still. I think I did hear from him. He said that everything was going good with the baby, and you know, it was some nights was tough to watch anime and stuff like that, but he's thinking that maybe he can, you know, maybe get back on for a Degen episode soon, but he's not sure about the rundown anytime soon since, you know, baby duties. So
yeah, I mean that's a high obligation. Yeah. You know, he has to watch all of that season's shows and be current and up to date. Whereas like a Degen episode, you just bullshit. You hop in and you bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit about whatever. Fun. So, I seen he was watching Digimon earlier, so it was pretty cool. It's all about that Digimon shit. But this week, you know, the best way to support us, make sure you rate the podcast, tell your friends, follow us on YouTube, all that stuff. Linktree.com/animedegens. We got the finale for the winter rundown. We got Frieren season 2, episode 10, which is the final episode. We got Jujutsu Kaisen season 3, Culling game arc, episode 12, which is the finale also. Got Hell's Paradise season 2, episode 12, which is also the finale. And then we want to announce the spring rundown shows, at least 2 of them. The third one, we kind of got an idea on what's locked in. It's pretty much locked in, but we want to keep it we're going to keep it a little bit of a surprise and let y'all guess, you know, what the third show is.
We'll leave number 3 as a mystery, we'll say.
Yeah. Y'all have 2 weeks to figure out what show we're gonna put in the third slot. So we want to hear your guesses. Make sure you comment in the YouTube or Discord or, you know, any of that stuff. Just let us know what you think our third show is. But for the 2 we have right now, we're gonna add Demons of the Shadow Realm to our rundown episode, and we're also gonna have One Piece, Elbaf, the Elbaf Arc. It is being added to the rundown as well because, you know, when we started this podcast, we said One Piece was always going to be on the rundown, and One Piece is always on the rundown. So, when it's airing, of course. But we got episode 1 of Demons of the Shadow Realm and episode 1156 of One Piece. So, with that being said, I guess it's time to get started, Nom.
Yeah.
So, let's do Frieren season 2, episode 10, A Beautiful Sight. So, I want to ask, do you remember last episode, Nom?
I do.
Do you remember when that big giant kraken was attacking them in the middle of the boat in the middle of a huge lake?
It's funny that you mentioned that because I specifically, when watching that, was like, man,
This is gonna be fun, you know.
where's that Kraken that Tyler was thinking we were gonna fight?
Yeah, we're like I had a theory about Deacon showing up and helping him and everything, right?
Yeah, no, you had like literally made it this whole plan, and nope, forget
we don't
about it.
we don't even get to see the Kraken. Like the Kraken just don't exist. Like I almost forgot about the Kraken because I waited a couple days after this episode released or whatever to watch Frieren, and I was like, what happened last episode? And I was like, oh wait, that Kraken happened. What happened to the Kraken? And we just never got to see it. And I feel like
Yep.
that would have been a fun fight. I think middle of the ocean or the lake, you know, trying to fight a kraken. So
I think that's specifically why they decided not to do it, was because it was them in the
yeah.
middle of the ocean.
Well, so I'm kind of curious, like I wonder if like anybody's read the manga. I know we haven't, but if anyone's read the manga, I wonder if like they cut if the manga actually like added on to that and it was like a whole thing, or and they just cut it because they didn't have enough time to fit in like the ending of season 2 or whatever, uh, to add that fight. So I'm curious about what happened there or if that was how it played out in the manga. So, but regardless of what it was, let me know. But we end up starting this episode off on a mountain, uh, and they're kind of just staring at a big issue. Like it's really big. The world's biggest canyon, actually. So that was fun. Like, even though I was frustrated, I was like, this is pretty cool, after I got over the fact that I didn't get to see my Kraken fight
it's
and
it's
Dinkin
not
come
quite as
along.
cracking cool, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
all
not,
right.
but we take what we can get. It was still a good episode. So, but they're trying to figure out like how they're gonna like get across this canyon. It's supposedly the deepest canyon. I think they said like 3,000 meters deep or something like that. And the winds are too strong; they can't fly across it. Usually when you got canyons or ravines or whatever, like the draft coming up out of it is usually pretty tough. So they can't fly across it. Um, so they start going around. It was like, we're gonna have to go around this. Maybe we can go upstream and find a way across or something that won't take us a couple weeks. And then Fearon was like, wait a minute, I remember something. I wonder if it's done yet. And she's talking about a bridge actually, because last time she was here, a dwarf was working on a bridge and trying to build one to go across the canyon. Um, and they get to him and they see that he actually finished it. It took him 200 years though, which is crazy. But I guess like, when you're building a bridge with no technology and no advanced tools or whatever, like it probably takes a long ass time. You know what I mean?
Not to mention doing it with your own money, so you have to buy all your own supplies. You don't have somebody sponsoring you and giving you all of this funding to do it.
Yeah, he's just doing it because he wants to. Uh, which you know it's done now, and he's like, Fearon and the gang like pull up, and they're just like, a bridge like this going across like this, you know, canyon or whatever, it should be like used a lot. And it was like, I wonder why it's, nobody's here. And well, it's because like there's a bunch of bird monsters took a nest nearby and it's been like trying to basically like blow everyone off the bridge that gets around it. I guess they're really territorial or something. Uh, but very dangerous. Like a caravan got blown over to whatever. And I was thinking like while they was talking about this or whatever, I was like, why don't the dwarf just like build walls? You know what I mean? That way they don't fall over. You know? Don't you think that would be viable?
um No, because I think the birds would then be agitated, attack the walls, and then probably try and pick at the people on it. So now you're building
Ah,
an enclosure, in which case the birds are just going to be attacking the enclosure the entire time and
what the?
possibly even break it down.
So obviously you could build a roof too, but you're thinking like the birds might attack the actual bridge and tear it up or something. So,
Yeah.
which kind of makes sense, I guess. Plus, not to mention the fact that if the dwarf just happened to get out there trying to work on it, he might get blown over too. But
Yep.
I feel like, if you're gonna put a bridge across like a giant hole like that, maybe you should make the guardrails a little higher. So you know what I mean?
I don't think you anticipate giant bird monsters also
Yeah, making a
inhabiting the area.
yeah, randomly too. So, um but so that was fun to see. But Frieren shows up and he's like, "Oh, good to see you, Frieren. I could use your help right now. There's a bunch of birds and I need you to take care of it." And she's like, she pretty much is like, "Okay, I'll help you." And then he's like, "Oh, by the way, I got a grimoire for you." And she's like, "What is it?" And it's how to flip a pancake perfectly, or being able to flip a pancake perfectly. I just love the like stupid shit that they come up with to make
Hey,
into spells.
hey, you don't dare fucking call that one stupid.
No, I'm
That
just
is a perfectly fine skill, one that I wish I had,
oh,
because
I
let
wish
me
I had
tell
it
you,
too.
you know what else he had, though, which was also very convenient?
What's that?
All the ingredients to make pancakes.
Yeah, I mean, he even said he's like, if you go do this, you can have a really good pancake breakfast in the morning. You should have seen Fern's eyes light up. She's like, "Oh, Miss Fern, we got to go do this."
They're just eager for anything that's not rotten bread or stale bread.
Yeah, that hard ass bread, man. So I thought that was a fun time. We also we also learn about like the story behind the dwarf and the bridge, which is one of the things that Frieren does the best. I feel like he's building it because like his village got destroyed by demons 200 years ago, or more than 200 years ago actually, back when Himmel and Dim was going around trying to kill the demons. um and his village got destroyed because like they couldn't get any help to come help them fast enough because they had to go around the canyon. And he's like, I'm not going to do that again. I want to build a bridge that way villages are safe, the way villages have access to help faster without having to worry about being wiped out before help gets there. um so I really like that. And then we see that like he ran out of money, like Nam was saying, like he had to spend his own money. And I assumed that like building supplies was very expensive back in the day unless you cut it yourself or whatever. And
It's not. That's not even just that. You
yeah,
got to think he's building a bridge that spans all the way across, so he has to build the foundation
yeah,
on both sides, as well as then build the actual floor, the rails, and then slowly build across while still keeping that foundation built up too. So it supports all of that.
yeah, like he's got like a even though like the anime, it doesn't show like you kind of like lose track of how big it actually is, because like it kind of looks small, but I think it's pretty big. And like a bridge that size, having to just like Frieren said it takes 2 weeks to go around. Like, imagine taking 2 weeks worth of supplies all the way around. Or I mean, like supplies to build on the other side all the way around takes 2 weeks. It would take longer to bring supplies that way. And he was doing this by himself for most of his like building progress. So Um, but he was like, I ran out of money, like I can't finish it. And Himmel back in the day, he decides to give him like all basically all his money he had, which was more than enough to finish the bridge. And he's like, I can't accept this. You know, I have nothing to give you in exchange. And I love that he's like, just build it strong enough to last 1,000 years. And that way Frieren can use it when, in the future, if she ever needs to. And so I love that. I love that I love that Himmel is thinking about Frieren, like even after like he's dead and gone or whatever. Like he was making sure Frieren had like an easy life or whatever. So
The
also
entire
love,
time.
yeah, the entire time. Like he was all about, doing things for her while he was alive, but even after he's dead, he's still looking out for her. Also really cool, he rebuilt his village along the way. I was kind of surprised to see that. I thought he was like a just like a lone dwarf or whatever, but we see people helping him out, and apparently like he grew a village uh with people, I guess. So pretty cool to see
Yeah,
that.
just a bunch of refugees or other people that come from around the surrounding area or were helping him build it and stuff like that. So yeah, no, it was that was really cool to see, especially too considering he's a dwarf, right? So he's got a longer lifespan than a lot of humans and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so to see other families also living there too, it speaks a lot of volumes because it shows that he's able to kind of build and foster that community there despite what happened and the struggles that he's going through. People gravitated towards him, they wanted to help him.
And they wanted to help his cause, and stay with him, and I guess make sure he wasn't lonely and stuff. It was pretty cool. Like we didn't see like a significant other, like a wife or anything like that, kids or anything, but like it's pretty cool seeing like a family build, grow together or whatever. So uh
Yeah.
especially since he lost all his, which is kind of sad too. Like I feel bad for him because like imagine being reminded of like you know your whole village dying every time you worked on the bridge or whatever. You know what I mean? For 200 years, so crazy. Um, but yeah, this finale kind of didn't really feel like a finale. It just kind of felt like a let's continue the journey, which is what it is. So uh but the gang does just that. They continue on. They go down the road. We get to it's snowy now and stuff. And they start having money issues. So Frieren's like, I think there's a place around here. And we need to go look for it or whatever and see about it. And it's a small mining camp, and they're gonna find a job there to basically take down a wolf monster that's terrorizing a mining spot that has valuable crystals uh there. So but this fight versus the wolf monster, it was actually pretty cool. It was actually really really good considering it's just like a run of the mill monster type thing. You know what I mean? It's not even like a demon lord or anything. It's just a really smart, strong monster,
Yeah.
and it was really strong. Um, I'm pretty sure that it would have killed like almost anyone else that came along to try to kill it because it was that strong. What do you think?
I would probably agree with that sentiment.
Yeah. Because I mean, Frieren and them, they had a lot of trouble with it. They like it was able to like read the I almost said read the manga, but read the mana, I guess. That was being output, so it could dodge it like instantly or something. And it was like the lord of like the area, the territory or whatever. So I guess that's why it paid so high and nobody wanted to do it, is because probably other people had tried it. probably died. So I'm pretty sure they mentioned that like people went and never came back or something, right?
Yeah.
So uh but yeah, I thought it was a lovely fight. Like, poor Stark, he's always getting, shit on. But Frieren stayed with him this time. And like, I thought like I'm pretty sure that was like Zoltrack, right? Like the soundtrack while she was doing Zoltrack from like so high up or whatever. So it was pretty cool to see all that, how they outsmarted the wolf. It was really smart. So, but they treated it like a really big battle, and it really wasn't. But I thought it deserved it, kind of. So
I don't know. I'd say it was still a pretty big battle. It's just
yeah, but
you
not like
gotta.
a aura top battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it doesn't need to be like that though, is
Yeah.
the thing. You have established this dynamic now with Frieren and Fern where you have the strongest mage ever and the strongest modern mage ever.
Or upcoming strongest, maybe mage. We I don't know if we know that she's the strongest, but I feel like she's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it
It
feels pretty telling, not gonna lie.
yeah.
That being said though, right? Their power is so great at this point that it's kind of difficult to necessarily be like, "Oh man, that's a easy fight." No, it's probably not an easy fight. It's just they're so strong. They can one-shot things when they can actually get hits.
Yeah.
And that's what it all boils down to.
Yeah, and like it doesn't have to be all on Frieren, whereas like normal stories, like they would like pick one, yeah, obviously the most powerful mage ever or whatever, right? They would be the ones that was like doing the hard hitting work. But like this she's actually like letting, when she determines that it isn't too strong or whatever, even when it is strong, she's like, I think she's got it, and she lets Fern handle it. She believes, she trusts in Fern, so I like seeing that. So, um, and they killed this wolf. They had a little trouble. They ended up killing it, and like all the minions, the subordinates that was like underneath this lord of the territory or whatever, they started coming around. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting because like even though they're strong, you know, you can you can overwhelm with numbers, and they had numbers. Um, so I was wondering how it was going to play out because, like, even though Frieren and Fern they can like fly up, poor old Stark he couldn't. He can't fly. So I was wondering what the hell he was going to do if they started charging. Running around like a chicken with his head cut off or something. Shit. But just in the nick of time, like the Norm company comes through and it's like, we paid you. This is payback. We got you. We'll save you this time, and because you saved their ass or whatever. So, pretty cool. Even though I really wanted to see Stark running around, trying to not get eaten. uh, but yeah, then we go back to the camp and they get their money and stuff. And I thought it was pretty cool as well to see that the dude that hired them wasn't actually wanting to mine the crystals. He's like, yeah, I just wanted to put a barrier up that way, nobody else could mine it. Everybody could see it. I could preserve the beauty of that because that's what made me want to become an adventurer. I, I thought that was like a really cool moment because like that's kind of what Frieren is too, like standing out, being different than the normal. So,
Yeah,
um,
it's not exactly a very normal thing that most people would do in a situation when they have the ability to, mine it and get
would
a
be
whole bunch of money out of
millionaires,
it.
right?
So kudos to them for not being that way. And
Yeah. I mean, we've seen it time and time again, it's all about like enjoying the scenes together or whatever, right? So, and here we go, another perfect scene of a beautiful sight. It's got a lot of money or whatever in it. So the episode pretty much ends right there, kind of. Fern ends up, getting head pats from Frieren. Frieren spends all their money at the magic shop, all that stuff, or pretty much all their money. But it's not ending high everywhere. Uh, Somewhere else in the world, I don't know where, we actually see Dinkin again, and this episode actually ends with him staring at his hometown city, which has been turned to solid gold by the last of the seven stages of destruction mocked. So I think this does a really good job of setting up like what we're gonna get in the next season, but also like we don't know anything about what's going on either or what's gonna happen. So it's your mind just goes everywhere. You know what I mean? Like um they're acting like Dinkin's going to fight this dude by himself. But surely not, right? Like surely he's gonna have some help, right?
I don't know. I mean, maybe he might actually go on his own,
One
and
v one.
somebody might stumble in there and, be like, "Oh, hey, here's
I
some
just
help for you."
I just think that like I don't think it's gonna be Fruin and them though, right? Like I think Fruin and Dinkin's like further apart than we realize. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but at the same time, I still don't think that it's going to be a situation where it's like, okay, he's going to go off and fight the demon lord all on his own.
Yeah. You think maybe we get to see like Ubel or some of the other like members of the mage exam come along? Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, or maybe even that dude that the priest or whatever that Frieren likes so much. Maybe he comes along or something. I don't know. I'm really interested to see how the next season goes because Dinkin's my man, and I'm glad that we're getting like a setup that looks like it's gonna be a major part of the story with Dinkin as a major character in that part. As long as he don't die, really fast. I think I'm okay with him dying. I just don't want him dying like super fast. I want him to be a badass nom. So, but yeah. Uh, I mean that's pretty much all I got for the episode or whatever. Do you have anything else you want to add before we get to the final stuff?
No, no, I
Okay.
think that was pretty good coverage of what happened, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, overall, I think a pretty solid season. I think it was like more chill than like season one. Obviously, it focused on like uh, the softer side of things while still having a couple battles thrown in there. But we all knew it was going to be kind of like that. I think because it was a shorter arc, but it definitely leads into facing one of the seven great sages or whatever, like the one of the big the thing is like this dude is the biggest baddie that Frieren has seen in modern day Frieren, so it's going to be interesting to see how it's handled. Um so I think it does a really good job of like setting us up for that. uh, but yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend. I think everyone already knew I was giving it a 10, so
Yeah, no, that was a given. Um, no, I'd say it was definitely a lot better than the first season, especially once you get past, as I said before, right time, right place for anime, right? If you don't vibe with it, but you still are interested, just wait for a different time and then go watch it. And I don't mean time of day, by the way.
Time of life.
This one here wasn't necessarily as needing of that as season one was. It was a lot easier to enjoy. It was a little bit more sped up, despite the fact that it's still a slower paced anime.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Still a watch though.
I mean, I understand, so some people, these kind of shows don't hit like that, you know what I mean? But like this is the kind of show that I look for, so that I really love. Uh so I definitely get it. That's why we
All
do
right.
these things.
Time to hit you with the boogie woogie though.
I think this is the best show. It's my favorite show of this rundown, I think. So
What, Frieren?
no, JJK.
Oh, okay.
I love
I was
Frieren,
gonna
but I
say.
love what JJK does this season.
So, we're gonna be talking about season 3, the Culling games.
Mm-hmm.
We can't even call it part 1 anymore because season 4 is coming out instead of part 2.
Well, it's just gonna be season 4, the Culling Games Part 2.
Yeah, well, instead I'm gonna call it season 3, the Culling games. Episode 12, the finale.
Mm-hmm.
This one is not the Tokyo colony. This one is actually the Sendai colony.
I think we said it was gonna be like part 5, right?
You mean part like 75?
Yeah, something like that.
It fucking dragged down so much. But anyways, we start off this episode and it's literally Yuta killing Druv. He was one of the 4 sorcerers we got introduced to. And he's starting to lead people to safety when he gets ambushed by Kuroshi, which is the cursed spirit, and Rochi from Gachi Akuda.
just a bigger version of Rochi. He transformed into his mecha.
He didn't even transform into his mecha, dude. He went into training.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
He hit that Jin Woo type shit, bro.
But from here, Yuta is pushed to his limits with minimal usage of his powers. And I mean pushed to his absolute limits. He is just getting overwhelmed by this guy. From like the giant swarms that he's sending out after him, the giant like fucking beetle tornadoes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And just like also too, Kuroshi's usage of his own abilities and appendages. He's like throwing his sword around trying to just get all this damage, and it's still attached to his hand.
Yeah, I mean the cockroach or whatever is a really interesting thing character to have to be this OP. I like it.
It also said one of my favorite things too. It was when it was like, why do you kill us? When it was talking to Yuta, and he was like, I don't know. Why do you? And he was like, I like the taste of iron. And I was like, you fucking freak. You're over here literally just trying to get their blood.
I love that. I mean, I don't think cockroaches even like bite you like that, right?
I don't know.
Suck your blood or whatever. I don't think so. Like
they about to now.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be scared, bro. I don't think pest control is gonna fix that shit. So
you need pretty big pesticide. From there though, Kuroshi gets a really good slash in on Yuta, ends up making him have to go down. And so Yuta uses reverse curse energy to take down Kuroshi because he's a cursed spirit. Positive energy from reverse curse energy causes him to explode.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, he was trying to avoid using his reverse cursed energy or whatever, right?
Yeah, he was trying to not use it because he had a feeling that he was being watched.
Yeah.
Which by the way, he was, because as soon as he used reverse curse energy, Takakao who's the girl that can use the sky,
Naked
or
chick.
Uro, she reveals herself and ambushes Yuta, giving him Gum Gum powers. Too bad Yuta didn't learn it from Luffy, so he doesn't actually know how to use the Gum Gum powers yet.
Yeah.
And he loses it before he can actually even get a chance to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean he's trying though, you know what I mean? He's just not getting anything to land. But what it was is he wasn't yelling out the attacks as he was attacking. He should be yelling them
Exactly.
out, you know, gum gum pistol or whatever. So
Um, but during all of this, Takakao reveals her technique is Sky, where she can actually take whatever the surface is of the sky and reflect it or redirect it. And as well, during all of this, she ends up taking Yuta and like they're just flying through the air. And then they get blasted out of the sky by Ryu Ishigori.
yeah, this shit now I'm like, Mappa is cooking because like this shit was like straight Gear 5 shit. Like she was grabbing the sky, pulling it together, like making it basically doing what Luffy was doing to in Egghead. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
she wasn't doing this yet.
Oh,
No,
she
this
wasn't.
is
I thought she was
this
doing it
is
already.
no, this is when she just got blasted. Her and um Yuta, right? And
I
so
could have.
then
I could have swore she was
no,
like
hang on,
pulling on the sky and shit while she was
hang on,
fighting Yuta. Then okay.
hang on. So from there, they both are like, all right, I'm gonna take this guy down.
Yeah, I'm
Yuta
pissed
and
off.
Takako.
Yeah.
And so Yuta starts charging at him, right? And that's when he sends out that beam that just like has all those little tendrils that start blasting all over the place. And he's like, he's Sanicking down the freeway.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so that part was pretty cool. But it turns out Yuta actually dug a hole in that area, and he actually uses it to sneak up to Ryu and starts throwing hands.
Yeah.
Um
Pretty cool, honestly. Like, who would have thought that we'd get like a free for all, four was it 4-person free for all or whatever, and like
yeah.
the finale, you know, like so crazy. I'm pretty sure
Oh god, yeah.
we was like he's only gonna fight like one of them or whatever, right? And we fights all of
He is literally taking them down. He's just amassing bodies right now.
them.
But so anyways, Ryu actually explains how, because he's also, turns out everyone so far besides Kuroroshi is a reincarnated um sorcerer.
Mm-hmm.
And so Ryu reveals he was actually pretty satisfied with his life, right? He had a lot of things going well for him. He had a wife, he had a good family, he had a fulfilling life, but he felt something was lacking. And it turned out that he just never had a good dessert.
Just lacking the desserto.
And so
This is just some of the stupidest shit I ever heard in an anime like this, Dom. I ain't gonna lie.
don't you even say that, man, because this is the whole reason why he came back, just so he could have his dessert, right?
It's so stupid though, Dom. But I'm glad to do with the Pompadour or whatever is talking about this shit though.
Yeah, dude, he's making Yu Yu Hakusho proud.
Yeah, I love it.
So anyways, Yuta though is actually on the defensive against Ryu. Ryu has so much cursed energy output that Ryu can't even actually keep up with it. He just keeps getting hit, but he can sustain it by hitting back. And turns out though, Ryu is smart just as he is strong.
Which
Because
didn't look like that, by the way.
it did not. They get to a subway tunnel and Ryu ends up leading him into it, which is when he can actually use a full blast attack, which would have been really fatal for Yuta.
Yeah, because he's trapped, kind of, right? I feel like a normal person would have been like, not a normal person, because a normal person wouldn't have pushed him that far, but like someone that's not a god, like Yuta, someone not on Yuta's level, like Gojo level or whatever, like would have been dead there. Like uh like Megumi, like he's like a next level or whatever, but like he's not on that level. Like Megumi would have been dead. People like that would have been dead.
Easily,
Yeah.
hands down. But yeah, no. So as they're fighting underneath there, Yuta, he's doing a really good job, and he's actually finding ways to kind of like stall Ryu, if you will, right? Like he's even punching into his pompadour blast. But it's not enough. He gets sent flying into the sky and right into Takakao. And so then she ends up sending him flying into the ground, right? And they're both like, haha, he's using a lot of reverse cursed energy. He's gotta be running out of energy now. There's no way this fool can keep up. And you see Yuta over there too. He's heavy breathing.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, it's time. Shing!
I'm far enough away from the stadium.
Puts on the ring, calls forth Rika.
Yes.
And I say it like that because people need to understand this is not the same Rika. That Rika has officially passed on after JJK 0. Yuta let her go. And so she was no longer cursed and no longer following him. What he did was he took all of his cursed energy and put it into a being that resembled Rika.
I'm glad you're here because I don't I don't think about this stuff too deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I figured as much.
I was here for the punches, man.
So, Yuta can only summon Rika for about 5 minutes. As he puts the ring on, the fight starts, and so does the timer. He gets this little armband on his arm, right? And he then has Rika go and fight Takakao while he goes and deals with Ryu. But Takakao is constantly throwing Rika into the mix and messing with the two of them at the same time until the point where they actually swap opponents. Right? And like the animation, is just so clean watching everything go down.
I'm telling you, man, Mappa straight up cooked. Like I know that they've gotten shit in the past or whatever, but like this shit was good.
Like this is the redemption.
Yeah, this makes up for it because like I don't know how much time they had to have in order to make this be like it was, but damn, you know what I mean? They cooked. Imagine seeing this in theaters, Nom. This episode, imagine seeing this on like a huge theater screen.
So I'd be surprised if they don't at some point soon. From there though, let me see here. They start going at it, and eventually the three of them end up on a rooftop together. They're standing equally apart. Ryu starts crushing the building down, and he's like, all right, enough. Words are no longer necessary. And this is where we get the three-way domain expansion.
Crazy. This shit was crazy.
The only problem, Kuroroshi isn't dead. So, and here's how that happened, right? Parthenogenesis. Essentially, what it did was it transferred part of its consciousness into a unborn embryo. And so when it births, it then becomes that original being.
Basically cockroach shit.
And so yeah, the thing went out there and went ahead and destroyed the entire domain expansion.
Yeah. So I thought when they all popped their domains at once, I was like, oh man, this shit's about to get crazy or whatever, you know, like we got three like people of this level popping domain expansions, and then you're just like, oh shit, like they're not in domain expansions. It was just like a cinema one after another. Like what is happening, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And then the best part is still yet to come.
Yeah.
Because now that the domain expansion is over, right? Rika charges, or no, sorry. Yuta ends up kicking Takakau down, which allows Kuroroshi to chop her arm off. Rika ends up eating that arm, which is very important. Hold on, we're cooking here, okay? And then finally, Ryu finishes Takakau while Yuta gives Kuroroshi some more reverse curse energy. Because he didn't have enough last time.
Basically, everybody's fighting everybody, and it's hella good. So hopefully, y'all watching this shit. Like I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this because it was such a good episode.
Well, now we're down to the final, right?
Mm-hmm.
Final showdown. Because now there's only 2 people left.
Yep.
And Ryu asks Yuta for one last feast. And so they both, standing equally apart, decide to charge up. And Yuta was going to fire early. But after looking into Ryu's eyes, and let me tell you, Yuta, I can agree. I would have done the same fucking thing. We got some fucking heat. We got absolute fire. Just straight up raw in the kitchen. Just going at it. Oh my god, this was good. The OP started playing. It was literally the entire song. I don't know if you knew this, Tyler. They literally did it to the entire song.
Yeah.
They didn't cut it out. They didn't shorten it. No, they played literally every bit of the song. And they had Yuta just absolutely cooking. He straight, so like the blast, right?
Uh-huh.
They didn't have to animate that hard.
Yeah, I get the fuck
So
out.
great. And
They
then
didn't
all
have
of a
to
sudden,
animate any of this hard. You know?
no. But anyways, from there, then they had Yuta charging around, right, as Rika did that blast. And then he was like, all right, I'll stop this blast and then shoot this at you. And Yuta's like, okay, dummy. Swoop. Whoop. Oh, man. Just
Yeah.
so great.
Like some of the best. I'm pretty sure, Nam, this was like the best episode of JJK, like ever. I don't know how you feel about it, but that's how I feel about it.
I don't know how I feel about it, man. It was just so much. I've watched that fight alone like 7 times. That's my One Piece fan letter.
Yeah,
that fight right there.
I just don't know. I don't know what else competes with this, Nom. Like this shit's crazy. So
it really is. But yeah, so Yuta ends up sparing everyone, and he ends up getting all their points. So now he's at 190 points.
Which I did not expect this to happen because I thought he was gonna kill everyone, because that's just who Yuta is. But he's like, now I can exchange points. So let's see if they'll actually work with me. But the thing is like they're still running loose. You know what I mean? So like they're still gonna be killing people and shit. But I guess Yuta don't really care. So I don't know. Um, but yeah, Yuta got that shit. He got those points now. He's the man, man.
Oh, for sure. Um, but yeah, that was the season.
Yeah. Like I
Time
said,
for the final thoughts.
yeah, crazy. You want to go first?
I'll go first. Uh, straight heat. Just straight heat. The best two fights that we've had in the series to date, and honestly, one of the most convoluted tournaments arcs in like anime history, I would say. I don't think anyone's ever done anything like the Culling games.
Yeah.
And they're not even calling it a tournament, but let's face it, this is the tournament arc.
Yes. It's basically Fortnite, kinda.
Yeah, but you know, Fortnite has tournaments, so it
Yeah, yeah,
works.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, in just not to mention too how clean and crisp all the animation is. I give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. I really don't have anything negative to say about this season. Like it's probably my favorite. It is my favorite season of JJK. It literally had like two of the best episodes of JJK. I think the Maki episode and like this episode, the finale episode. The finale episode is like top one probably of JJK for me now. I like I gained like two favorite characters, like the lawyer dude and Yuta. Yuta, I did not give a shit about before this episode, or and like Yuta's a badass. Like he's probably I don't want to say he's my favorite character of JJK now, but like he's like probably top two. He might be tied, So it's actually insane how they cooked with him. Um, but yeah, done what JJK does best, and that's just kill people and fight. Which is what I watched JJK for. So I'm glad they done that. I'm glad that we got more of that coming. Probably, 10 out of 10. Uh, would give it higher if I had to. Like I said, it was Frieren. I really love Frieren, but JJK was literally the best show I think of this rundown. So season.
It's
So
hard to compete when
yeah,
you have a season this good.
yeah. I mean, is it more than Fear in season one? Probably not. I love that way more, but season two was kind of more chill. JJK though, it went hard as hell for no reason, man.
Frieren season 2, it was chill. JJK, definitely not chill.
No, not chill at all, man. So, but yeah, good shit. You ready to move on?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So we got Hell's Paradise season 2, episode 12, the finale. We got endings and beginnings. So this episode, it jumps around quite a bit. It's basically like checking in on all the different groups and stuff like that. It's pretty much kind of like what we was talking, like what we thought was going to happen. And the first up is the Dragons group. And they just got done fighting their battle. It was pretty tough on them or whatever, and they're just chilling. It kind of surprised me because they're just like chilling so much. They're like got their clothes off, they're wringing them out, resting up and stuff. And Chobe's just like, "Yo, we don't have time to be doing this. We should be, doing something else. We should be attacking or whatever. We should be getting to the gate, all this stuff." And I agree. I think that they should be trying to help the others because, like, if they was in that bad of a like, if things fell apart that much for them, then things fell apart that much for everyone. And in order to make it out alive, I feel like they all got to work together. And them just chilling was kind of like, what are y'all doing? But the little man was like, we need to do this. And I'm just like, do you though? You know, how does like wringing out your shirts help recover? I don't know. What do you think, Nom?
I mean, I do get where he's coming from. When your clothes are dry, right? It's a lot easier to move. It's a lot more comfortable. You can also sustain body heat a lot easier. Whereas, like, if it's wet, you're basically inviting hypothermia and stuff like that, which is going to be a lot more detrimental to you, especially if you're trying to survive in a new environment, somewhere that you are, foreign to, if you will.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was interesting to see that, like how how the episode started or whatever, because at the very end of that last episode, we got like all the ninja and stuff. They showed up or whatever, and that was like the big cliffhanger. And obviously, something else. Yuzuhara, uh, uh, looking pretty in bad shape. So I'll just say that. Um, but now, like I said, the ninja and samurai, they've joined the party. They're going around killing everything they see. Anything. Trying to at least. And they basically got all the samurai and criminals surrounded. They're just like, giving them a choice. They're like, surrender the criminals or die with them, basically. And I thought this was like pretty like menacing, I guess, like pretty hardcore until like the leader of the ninjas was like, I'm not gonna kill Gabby Maru because I love him type shit. It's like, oh, I got a crush on him or whatever. And I'm just like, man, that doesn't fit the vibes at all. But I like it.
Yeah, no, it's really strange because it's like you do know that he's also married to
Yeah.
the fucking head ninja's daughter, right?
Yeah, like he's not gonna give you the time of the day. Like he loves his wife or whatever, right? Like that's the whole reason why he's doing all this shit. And like she's apparently she's got a crush on him or something because like he helped her or some shit. I don't know. But I find it like really interesting that she's like the chosen like new Gabby Maru to Hollow or whatever. Like she's supposed to be like substituting like as the new top dog or whatever that's just merciless or whatever. And then we get this moment where she's, you know, making a face and she's obviously not hollow. She has emotions or whatever because she loves Gabby Maru. I thought it was pretty funny, especially after saying that um she was gonna kill everyone or whatever. So and then she's like, nah shit, I'm lying, bro. You don't know that though. So they trying to get a harem started or what, Nom?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, let's be honest.
Yeah, freaking Sagiri, his wife, and now this chick, Gabby Maru version 2. Come on now. What we doing
Look,
over here?
it's how they can continue it on, right?
I guess,
My life
switching over.
but hang on, my life in a foreign land was hell. Now I'm in a paradise full of women.
Now just chilling at home after my adventure or some shit. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't go that route. But I see that they like teas and stuff like that. So, but the other thing that I was talking about earlier, where we left off at, we seen Yuzahara. She was pretty much we thought she was dead, and she shows up. She's back. Yeah, she comes back just in time to save Sagiri from like getting hit or something like that. And you're just like, oh shit, she's back. Like she doesn't look like she's even like hurt at all. She's like acting crazy too. Like very very happy, very beginning of Hell's Paradise-y. She kind of changed along the way, and now she's back to her old self. I think. Um, but I'm pretty happy about this. I don't know about you, Nam, but like I thought 100% that she was dead, and I don't know how she was able to heal herself. And it doesn't matter because, like I said last episode, I was going to drop this one whole point if she died, and now I don't have to. So, because the best
That is
character is
true.
back. The best character is back, Nam. So,
You did say that.
how
And
how does she heal herself though?
I'm wondering if she took some of the plant towel.
You think she maybe did what Gabby did? Gabby Maru did, maybe?
Yeah, or the plant tau got a hold of her itself and
Okay. Cause she
injected
was
it.
cause she was almost dead and maybe it found a way into her body or some shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean they do state that if you're near a near death like type of situation, that the plant tau will instead focus on regeneration instead of anything else.
I didn't think about that, but I mean that's literally what happened with Chobe. So mm,
And Gabby Morrow,
yeah. Well I mean Gabby Maru he forced it, right? But Chobe he didn't
he
force
was
it.
still he was still on the verge of
Yeah, yeah,
dying when he forced it.
he
So
planned it though, but like I'm pretty sure Chobe he didn't like it kind like he forced it too, but like it was like not planned out, you know what I mean? So that's it. I think you're right actually. So I really do. But I will probably find out next season, honestly. Surprised they didn't say anything about this season, but maybe they're like keeping it under wraps as like a secret, for like the next battle, Um, but yeah, I'm pretty happy. She's my favorite character of the series, so um, but basically all the parties that split up, Gabby Mari's party, they now have they've had ninjas surrounding them, but now a member of the Asaman clan shows up for each of them. Like one member shows up and Saguri, she gets matched up with the blonde that's like a top 3 rank, she's like the left or right hand of the main dude, you know what I mean? I don't know her name though. I don't think he's probably said their name, but it's fine. Uh, we don't need to know it this time. Shion, which is a blind dude, he gets matched with the top 3 kid samurai that's on the opposite side, the main dude. And Dragon actually gets matched up with the main samurai dude, which is surprising to me because like I figured like the main samurai dude would be focused on like bigger issues or whatever, but instead he matches up with Dragon for some reason. I don't know why. Um, but Rian, they even get like matched up with the new Gabby Maru, which is pretty cool because like they're having a fight over the ships and the sluice gate and stuff like that, and they're gonna battle it out there because she's like, Gabby Murray's gonna come down here, so why don't we just wait for him? So, but it's definitely not looking good for any of her people right now, Nam. It's looking very bad. Um, I don't know, like they have to choose like either they want to like stay with the criminals that they survived with or the clan that they was raised with basically. And I think that's a really hard choice, but like honestly like you normally you would choose your like family clan, right? You know what I mean? Like you would just give them up if you had to choose, you would think, right?
I mean, you would, but
Cuz I mean you spent more time with them than you have with these criminals and you've underwent like harsh training and stuff and been in like dire situations just as much, I feel like,
no, not in a life and death situation like this where you're actively helping each other to not die.
You think so?
Yeah, no, something like this definitely stands out a lot more than even a couple years of training and stuff.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see, because like I'm just wondering like if anyone's gonna be able to actually convince, um, like any of the new arrivals to like stand down or not fight them or like even join up with them or whatever because like we see like the big blonde girl or whatever she's like crying it feels like her and Sagiri are kind of friends or whatever and she's like so torn over the fact that she's gonna have to fight Sagiri and then even like the head dude like he's matching up with Dragon and he's like crying too, but I don't think they're like emotional tears. I think they're like mad tears, right?
It seems that way.
Well, like I'm mad because this dude's here, and somebody, one of my brothers ain't, or some shit, So,
I mean, that dude seems to cry about anything that happens.
well, I mean, he's a badass, man. As we've seen. So, I hate the Dragons matched up against him because Dragon's a fun character. But you know, I think that the emotions and like the decisions that each member makes or whatever is going to be a big part of next season. I'm pretty sure. So I don't think it's going to be straightforward. Like we're going to all fight to the death type shit. Try to kill each other. I think there's actually going to be some people like decide to, you know, choose not to do it or whatever. So it's going to be interesting to see. But as the episode ends, we thought the new group was our biggest issue. They kind of are. But it seems like Zhu Jin, which is the water type Tensen with the orange hair that Gabby Maru and them just fought. And, they thought that they killed, I guess. He was actually able to survive somehow. And then they're able to actually transform themselves into a huge giant form to fight Gabby Maru next season, is what it's looking like. So I'm curious, if Gabby Maru's the only one that's there, or if like one of the clan members or even like the leader of the ninjas or whatever shows up to you know face off against Gabby Maru in this Tensen, because it's weird that he's the only one that doesn't have someone to one be there to get them. So, but regardless, next season is going to be pretty hype as far as battles go. I feel like so. Um, unless you got anything else, Nam, though,
No,
that's pretty much it for Hell's Paradise. I mean, it's kind of like a chill episode. Like it didn't. We knew that nothing was going to happen, and nothing literally happened. So
I wouldn't say nothing happened.
yeah, well, nothing. Nothing
You found
finale.
you found out about
Yeah, yeah.
Yuzuriha. Okay,
I didn't have to drop this anime.
exactly.
I can keep watching for one more season.
So, no, I think that being said, we should get to our final thoughts on it.
Yeah, final thoughts. Pretty good season overall. I like the first season way better. I feel like this season was okay. It had a lot more talking than I wanted it to have. I wanted more action, honestly. It had a lot of action, but it just had a lot of strategic meetings and stuff. And I just wanted this to be sort of like JJK light, and it kind of fell off that a little bit. So, but still overall pretty good. Uh, Yuzuharu, the best character, she didn't die. I'm very happy about that. So I'm gonna end up giving it a 7 out of 10. So better
Okay.
than a 6, because I was gonna give it a 6. I had it as a 6 before I watched the final episode. So
Good to know.
uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, no, I would probably agree with you. This was a very lackluster episode or season compared to the last season, but I still appreciate what they did because there was still a lot of really good fights and stuff like that. And I would probably have to agree. I'd be giving it a 7 as well.
Yeah. I think it's set up really good though for like the next season. I think that it's gonna be pretty good, Dom. So uh
Oh yeah.
but we'll probably have to wait a little while before we get that. So we had to wait a little while to get this season. So Mappa's usually pretty busy. But with that being said, that's the end of the winter rundown. And we announced 2 of the spring rundowns already: Daemons of the Shadow Realm and One Piece. We're gonna go ahead and talk about the first episodes of those. That way, we don't have a bunch of episodes to talk about the next rundown. So, with that being said, I'll let Nam get started with the first one.
Yeah, so we're gonna get started with Demons of the Shadow Realm, episode 1. Asa and Yuru. And real quick, just a little bit of a summary. A new tale from the legendary mind that brought us the masterpiece that is Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes. We've been looking forward to this one for a while now. At least Dan has. He's been talking about it every chance he gets ever since it came up. So,
I mean, I don't blame him, especially after reading a couple of the chapters.
yeah, yeah.
So, and I'll have a couple words about that after this too.
Okay, okay.
um, so it starts off on a dark night in an older village with two Shisa statues. That's what those dogs are, by the way. They're called Shisa statues.
Okay.
A woman is giving birth to twins and is told to wait as they will command the demons.
Yeah.
That
Pretty
was a really weird way to start.
yeah, pretty interesting opening, huh? He's
Yep.
watching someone give birth. But I mean, you know, I get it. This is a story about them, I guess. The twins or whatever. And we gotta know how it all started from, I guess. So, um,
Exactly.
I was obviously really confused at this moment, but it gets better. So,
But anyways, in the morning, a man looks over the children and has regret. He claims one is born of the night and one is born of the day.
which I assume means like one is
Well,
better than the other, like natured wise, maybe.
no, I think it's just literally one was born at night, one was born at day.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, because that's why they told her to wait, and then next thing you know, everything is happening as it's daytime.
Oh, I was wondering why they told her not to push or whatever. Maybe they was trying to like uh meet the requirements or some shit. You know what I mean? This is a weird world, So there's no telling what they was doing.
Well, it's from what you think. All right, we'll get there. 16 years later, we see the main character, Yuru, and he's hunting a pheasant. We do hear a plane, but all we see are the chemtrails, and they call it dragon gas. They call it something else in the English dub, and honestly, it just sounds dumb that
Yeah,
way.
I don't
Whereas,
remember.
like, dragon gas seems like it's a little bit more organic of a thing.
Yeah,
But
I
anyways,
was confused though. It was like there's some dragons or whatever, and I'm just like, it sounds like that looks and sounds like a plane. Like, why are they calling it dragons? So, like,
but
th-
hang on. I'll explain that one in a
yeah.
moment when we get to
Well,
that point.
the thing is like these things, like it started off and it was like really confusing to me trying to learn this new world, But like as you go on, like it gets better. You know what I mean? Like you start to understand why things are the way they are. So I like that.
Exactly. Um, but anyways, as he arrives in the village, Yuro, he is greeted by Danji, his friend. About the same build, black hair, really, really slender and very yappy.
Very, very happy. Yes.
Um, as Yuru arrives back home, he goes and he visits his sister Asa, and she's kept in a cage. Don't know what she did. Probably stole a bunch of vegetables.
I don't think so. I don't think it's like that.
No.
But
Um.
but the way the old woman was talking though, Nam, she was acting like she was living a normal life or whatever. Then we go down there and he visits her and she's like in a cell kind of like thing. I'm just like, wait a minute, what? Why is she like this? Why? You know what I mean?
I mean, apparently she's got a very important
Role?
role
Yeah.
to the village, so that's why they actually have her there. Um. But yeah, no. From there, while she's there, she's unable to leave, right? And Yuru doesn't want to leave because he doesn't want to leave his sister. And while he's in there visiting her, a traveling merchant arrives named Dara. And so Yuru goes out to visit him, and Dara's like, "Hey, you want something?" He's like, "No." And he ends up throwing him an item anyways, and he's like, "Oh, let me guess. Do you have something for Asa? That's what you were gonna ask next?" Yes. Yes, he was.
Obviously, you know.
Um but anyways, after he gives him the gift, Dara goes to leave the village, and now Yuru and Denji are down in the fields. All of a sudden they start to hear helicopters. And they're saying that's not a dragon sound I've ever heard before, right?
Yeah, it's a different sounding dragon or some shit.
Now, all of a sudden, this barrier breaks and the village appears on the mountainside.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, Danji and Yuru look up and they see a plane, which is leaving all those chemtrails, right?
Yeah.
So, this is where I'm going to explain it, right? So, they have this barrier around their entire village, right, Tyler?
Yeah.
It masks anything from the outside. So it can't be seen from the inside, and it can't also see the village from the outside.
Mm. So I was curious if like people could see in, but I knew that it distorted what they seen from the outside. You know what I mean? And this kind of like makes sense now because we get like a moment where they're talking about leaving the village or whatever, and they're just like, you know, anyone that leaves the village to go work, they never come back. And like they're like the world must be so nice out there, and that's the reason why. And I think that they just cannot come back because they can't find it, right?
I mean, potentially.
Like,
Although that wouldn't make much sense because Dara.
well, I mean, Dara is like a he's in the know. You know what I mean? Like we found out that he was in the loop of like greater things or whatever. You know what I mean? He's not a normal traveler. You know,
Yeah,
so
but all the village people have to do is just get with him, and then he could help them get back home.
but it I kind of think that he doesn't want them to get back or something. You know what I mean?
I think there's something a little bit more that we're gonna have to wait a few
Yeah.
episodes before we worry about that one. But the main thing is that when the barrier is up, people can't see into it, and they can't see things from the outside world out of it.
All
They can
I
see chemtrails because chemtrails are not actually
yeah, they're just
a construct like that. It's
yeah.
gas.
Yeah, I think that like at first I thought that things was very confusing, but you know, after watching like the episode, I'm just like I think they done a really good job of setting up the world and the story even to leave us like a lot of like different routes or whatever, you know, cuz we literally don't know what could happen or where it goes, you know. So,
I think you're gonna have a lot of questions answered in episode 2.
probably yeah. So,
But anyways, so from there, the a bunch of helicopters come swarming the village. They start attacking all the people. Dara's even attacked from behind, right? We don't get to see the full events of that yet. Granny Yamaha actually claims that Yuru needs to be hidden as he and Danji are now making their way back to the village.
yeah.
They find some soldiers. They ambush them. They make their way all the way up to the Shisa statues, where there's actually a secret passage leading up to the keep. So, of course, um, they're gonna take that. And at this time, Gabby comes in and starts gobbling up all the villagers.
Oh man, no, I can't. tell you exactly how much because like it's impossible, but I really like Gabby. She's my favorite character.
Gobble.
She's my favorite character.
Gabble. Gabble, gabble, gabble.
So did you watch this subbed or dubbed?
Both.
Okay. Which one did you like most with this
Sub.
scene? Sub.
Sub.
Yes.
Sub, 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 sub.
Sub
Sub
was
all day
so much
long.
better. Like
So
I watched it dubbed and it was just like it didn't have it didn't like after watching the sub it didn't have the right tone. I don't think.
there's one thing in the dub that really pissed me off.
Oh, what was it?
Go ahead and guess. I will tell you, it is in that first sequence.
Shit. With the
Specifically,
baby.
it's in the dub.
With the
Nope.
baby.
Although it's around that.
I don't remember. I forget. Like
she says, you too.
Oh yeah. Oh, you talking about? I thought you was talking about like earlier in the episode. But yeah, she changed it up. Instead of saying gobble, she said you too, and that's a change.
Like, I didn't like that.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. I was like, why did she say you too? Because she she says gobble or whatever whenever she's like eating people or whatever. So
yeah, no. Gabby is so much cooler in the fucking sub. Yeah. Just putting that out there. You can watch the rest of it dubbed. Just watch any of the Gabby scenes subbed.
It's actually like I love her character, man. Like even though she's made out to be a villain, I assume that she is a villain. We don't really know for sure as of right now, but it seems like she is. She's killing people by gobbling them up or whatever. But
yeah, but not kids.
Yeah, but not kids. She what does she say? She says something.
No, don't worry. I don't eat kids. Yeah, I don't gobble kids.
Yeah, I don't gobble kids.
But anyways, they from there, Dara's alive. He actually survived and killed all the soldiers attacking him. He makes a call to Hana.
I want to say they got Glocks, man. They got the glizzies.
Yeah.
Which was very surprising to me. So I didn't expect it to be. So
that's your first hint, by the way. Yeah. Dara makes a call to Hana, and a surprise, the call made it through. Because typically the barrier would stop any of those signals from getting through, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they changed the rendezvous point. What happens is that Yuru then ends up going into the room, and there he ends up seeing the remains of his sister.
Yeah, because she has been killed.
Yep.
And you're just like, oh shit, like I didn't expect that to happen, right?
Yeah. At this point, Yuru's like, Asa's dad, and she's like, nope, I'm right here.
Hi, Oni-chan.
We're talking about the strange woman, by the way, is claiming to be Asa.
With the eye patch.
She is here to save Yuru, but kill everyone else.
Yeah. So that's why I kind of said, like, I don't know if Gabby is the bad guy or not yet, because, like, they kind of flipped us, you know what I mean? Like, is the village the bad guys? Did they kidnap and, like, brainwash Yuru? You know, or are they truly the bad guys? You know, you just don't know.
It still remains to be seen. There's a lot of questions. Yeah. But anyways, from there, Dara goes to save Yuru, who ends up running into Gabby on the way, by the way, and he can actually see the teeth, which is really cool. Yeah. But he grabs Yuru, and they run up to the Shisa statue, right? And at that point, Dara gives Yuru this necklace and forces him to put it into this little notch in the ground. And at that point, 2 demons come out of those statues.
The left and right.
take down the helicopter, and mission accomplished.
Yes. What an introduction to powers. You know, I was kind of wondering like how the powers worked, like what the powers were, you know? And then we like get to see like the teeth or whatever, which is really cool. And then we get to see like the demons show up and it's you know, we seen these powers, but we didn't get to see they was invisible. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool getting to see that still. Getting to see what was actually going on. So but
Absolutely. Now that the first episode though is done, is there anything more that you want to talk about or highlight?
Uh, no, I mean, I was just surprised a lot, man. Like, you know, coming into this, I didn't think it was gonna be like modern age. So when I seen like the firearms and the cell phones and stuff, like, you know, it kind of threw me for a loop. And then like you just don't know which side to be on. Are you on the side, the village side, you know, or are you on like the attacker side? Because you don't know who's the bad guy, who's you know who's not. Like is I I like I said, I was pretty confused early on in the episode, and then it started making a little bit more sense as I went through. Um, and I feel like that's a sign of good writing. I think you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Where like
Yeah,
it surprises
100%.
you so much, you know, as you go along, you learn, but you're still surprised and stuff. So, um, pretty cool, honestly. Also they got Colleen Clinkingbird, which is Luffy in the dub, to play somebody. Did you happen to catch that?
I did not. Who?
Probably not, because like I watched it and I was like, she doesn't sound nothing like Luffy. It's actually left the female
Really?
demon. So yeah, that's actually Luffy from the dub. So, but she doesn't sound like
Okay.
Luffy at all. So
No,
yeah,
not at all.
but yeah.
Okay. First thoughts. You go ahead.
Um, I think it delivered on you know I've seen a lot of people you know worrying that you know maybe it was being too hyped or whatever, you know, because it is a different story, you know, than you know Full Metal. Sometimes you can't get away from that. You know what I mean? Like when you're got such a great piece, it's like if Oda ever wrote anything else, how would you get away from being compared to One Piece or whatever? You know, I think
Yeah, it's
yeah,
almost like if the writer of like Inuyasha was to write a brand new tale, which is all about, time traveling from the modern to the past,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's a female that does the traveling, and then there's a male protagonist on the other end that she falls madly in love with and helps her out.
Wait, that's just Inuyasha. No, I'm so glad. No, I'm so glad that like that this like you can tell like obviously by like the designs and maybe a few pieces here and there that you know they have similar you know creators or whatever, but it's not the same. You know, it's a different story, and I really like that they set that apart from episode one, which is the biggest thing I think when you have a show like Full Metal Alchemist and then you have another show, a new story or whatever. You have to like separate them, or you will fall into like the Inuyasha Mao thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you'll be
you'll get that.
comparing them. You know, so
They'll get into that trap.
yeah,
So, as a matter of fact, there's another creator, the guy that did Initial D.
yeah.
He did this spinoff, which was MF Ghost, and MF Ghost was good. Don't get me wrong.
But it's
It's
being
different.
compared. You know,
Well, it's not even that. It's a different telling of racing and how everything plays out. But the real strength of it is that it's got that relatability to it. So now his next manga is actually going to be about tractors.
oh, interesting.
So it's completely different. It's not going to have any kind of racing at
It's
all,
gonna
or if
have
it does, it's going to be pretty
it's gonna have
slow.
tractor pools.
It probably is, honestly. But it's one of those things where he's now starting to branch out because he doesn't want to get stuck in that loop where all he's doing are these racing mangas, right?
Yeah.
They're cool, don't get me wrong, but at some point you do have to grow and evolve, and I think the creator of Full Metal did an excellent job. Full Metal was all about the elements and stuff like that and the alchemy, whereas this is going in more of like a mythological fantasy type avenue.
Yeah, mixed with modern day technology too, which is pretty cool. You don't see that often, you know? So
But just believe it or not, you're gonna start to see it a lot more over the past couple of years and
probably so,
over the
yeah.
next like 5.
It's starting to make a it's
um
starting to make a surge, you know, I see. So but yeah. Definitely a great
no,
episode. Great first episode.
yep. For those of you wondering, I did mention earlier, I did read the first chapter. I've actually read the first few chapters, so I do have a good idea of how the next couple episodes are going to play out. This was a 1-to-1 creation,
Oh.
almost entirely faithfully. There wasn't a single thing I seen in this episode that wasn't illustrated or alluded to in the actual manga, including Gobble.
Man.
The the scene where she was like, "Don't worry, I don't hurt children," and then that guy gets up and he doesn't have any hands on him, and she just gobbles him up like that. Cold,
I
so cold.
man, I tell you what, like the creator when they made it a thing, a shtick, you might even say, for her just to say gobble, that was peak writing right there. They knew, and they got the, like I said, the Japanese sub version. They literally got the perfect voice actor to play her. Like it fits her so good, man. Like it's perfect. So
Yeah, no, for sure.
So if you
All
have
right.
any intentions watching this dubbed, please do not watch it subbed or you will be spoiled. You will not want to watch dubbed. I promise.
Yeah, no, that is a fact that I am even willing to back up as well.
Yeah. So definitely good. Really good first episode. If you haven't watched it yet, please do. It is gonna be good. So
Yes. Okay. That being said, we also did not get a OP this week, so we will talk about it on the next rundown episode,
mm-hmm.
so that way we can actually cover it. I did get a chance to actually listen to it because I did Google it.
I don't think I did. So
Oh God, it is going to be good.
oh, okay. Love that. I
Yeah,
don't think I've listened to hardly any OPs yet. So because usually the first episodes, either they don't play an OP or they play the OP as the ED, and you're confused if it's the ED or the OP. You know. So
yeah.
but yeah, hella
All
good
right,
times.
and now let's go ahead and get on to the real reason why you guys are here.
Yeah. Yes,
We
sir.
all know, we've all been waiting for it. I've even been waiting for it. I don't even know why I've been on here at this time.
It's been a long 3 months, Nom.
It really has. But the wait is over. If you guys haven't figured it out yet, Goat Piece is back. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Um, Couple things. One, if you do not want to be spoiled about a certain big reveal from the manga, stay off of social media for a while. Do not look up anything regarding a certain shadowy figure that we are told about but still don't know what they look like.
Yeah, Nom warned me, and I had to go like mute words because it's one of those things where like I honestly really should read the manga and like start reading the manga again, because we're getting into that point where like it's getting harder and harder to like prevent being spoiled of big things, because big things are being talked about right now in the manga. So
Yep.
I don't know, it's a decision I'm gonna have to make soon, because even if you like mute One Piece, or you mute like so many
Emu.
keywords, like people get around that. Like people literally just post like like a panel shots, with no words. And how do you block that? You don't, you know?
Yep.
So, and
I will.
that's such a prominent figure too, that like, if you see it, like you'll instantly
No.
know what it is, So
I will state, right. It is Emu.
yeah,
They finally revealed Emu, right? And
yeah.
so just do your best to avoid it if you don't want spoilers. Trust me, when we get to that point, I promise you all,
We want to be
the
surprised.
the payoff will be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you that.
So, I guess I'll have to make my mind up sometime or another.
Don't worry, I got you if you decide to make up your mind.
Yeah,
That being said, though, short recap with some new content. So let's dive into it. I guess the first thing is we'll talk about a few of the differences, right? First off, animation change.
yeah. So, I got a question. Did they just like change the animation for the flashback scene, because the rest of it looked different than the flashback scene? It seemed like,
I think that overall, the entirety of it was in that same vein, right?
but different, right? Like the flashback definitely looked
The
more.
flashback was meant to give it that older look,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, no. Overall, it was just it almost looked like Wit Studios had just taken over the animation already.
I mean, it
They
was
didn't even start over, they just continued on.
it was really good animation. Like so like the end of Wano and all of Egghead, we had that like sketchy looking really good like animation or whatever, right? And this is like more polished looking, I guess you can say. More, I don't like I don't know. It looks more shiny. You know what I mean?
It does. No, like a lot of the backgrounds and stuff, they really started to pop a lot more. The water effects, all of that stuff, just it stood out so well and it was so nicely done.
I seen that they're also trying to do like a 1-to-1 adaptation for the chapters going forward. Since they're on this seasonal schedule, and that I've seen a couple different things saying that they was trying to make the animation as good as possible. So, which is, I like it. This is why we want it. This is why we're happy about seasonal somewhat, because like we get the quality, that it deserves.
Yeah, no, and the quality is definitely showing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So good job on them. Keep that up. I want to see more of it, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, no OP, no ED.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I
That
I've
was
I
that
heard the
was bold.
OP. I heard the OP. I didn't see it. I seen like the live action music video OP. You know what I mean? Uh,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Anna of the End, which done Dan to Dan's OP last season.
Yes.
So I'm pretty excited
Yes, I
about
did
that.
read about that.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, gonna be good. I think. Hopefully. Got to
No,
see
it should be.
we got to see all the spoilers in the OP before we decide if it's good or not.
Yeah, you're right. We have to do the Dan analysis.
But yeah,
Okay, so now we can actually get into the episode.
yeah. Short as it was.
A flashback to Little Garden with Luffy and Usopp claiming to want to go to Elbaf. They're literally arm in arm, cheering, chanting, waiting to go. And then it cuts to the present day with the two of them still locked arm in arm, still celebrating the exact same way, but they're on a giant ship, giants all around, they're eating food, they're literally achieving their dream. They're going to Elbaf. They're finally going, Tyler.
Yeah, I'm so
They're gonna
happy.
make it.
I'm so happy for
Oh
them.
my god.
It was nice to see this little
Um
flashback, because we seen it recently, actually, in the live action, but it was done
Yeah,
differently, you know what I mean? So it's good to see the actual happenings, what happened, and not the live action to skew our memory. So, but yeah.
exactly. The crew, they start reminiscing about all the good times and stuff like that. They start chatting it up with all the different giants about all their, encounters. And then we even get Usopp scolding Nami for not understanding giants' culture.
She's like, they're fighting again.
What's wrong with you guys?
She just don't
Like, what
get
do you
it.
mean? And then Usopp's like, don't you remember anything from Little Garden 2 years ago, Nami? No, she doesn't.
Yeah, it was fun to see this because this is what we get after in between the relationship between the crew growing. So, but yeah,
Yep. Um, while everyone is having a good time, Chopper's even getting drunk. Brooke puts on a concert. We do get to see a little bit more about what's going on in the world, right? Because now we're finally getting to the piece or the part where One Piece is finally being a world event and not just a self-contained Luffy story, right?
yeah,
So we go to Gartel Island, where Bartholomew is actually trying to spread the influence of Luffy on that island. There's just one problem. That island is already claimed.
yeah. I mean, at least he done good on it. You know what I mean? He helped him out, even though he went a little too far. So,
He didn't help him out. What he did was he antagonized Shanks.
well, yeah, but he helped him with the thug, right? Which they probably could have taken care of that. But Bardo was doing big things over there. But then, yeah, he just done a little bit too much.
Oh yeah. Um but yeah, so Shanks's crew, they actually do something pretty devious, and I'm so glad that we finally got to see it. They gave Bartholomew a vial of poison that was super deadly, and Luffy would die if he drank it within like a few minutes.
Yeah, blood will be coming out of everywhere, they said. So,
And he had to give Luffy that drink within a month.
yeah, or that's the only way he could get out of it.
So Bartholomew decided, nah, I did this. This is my mistake. He drinks the bottle instead.
Of course, my man Barto, he would never betray Luffy. Never. I knew. I knew without a shadow of a doubt.
I mean, it is true. He would never do that.
Yeah.
But that being said, turns out it wasn't actually poison at all, and they were just pulling his leg.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny. I actually thought that, you know, I don't know if you remember or not, but like I'm a believer of Shanks, uh actually being a kind of like a bad guy, like against Luffy in the end or whatever. So I was like, man, this shit's really happening. Like it's coming true. What I said, it's coming true. And then they done that, and I was like, well, shit.
Yep.
But then again, later on in the episode, I'm sure we'll touch on it. Something happens, and I, you know,
Oh, I mean, we're about to touch up on it
okay,
right now
okay,
because
I may be right still. So
even though Shanks is glad to see that Luffy is getting this influence and he's got people that are willing to do things and even stand by him, drink poison for him instead. Yasop comes up and he's like, "All right, that's fine, Captain, but move the fuck out of the way.
we got shit to do.
You know they need to pay." And so he literally takes aim, blows up their entire cannon reserve, and the Bartow ship sinks to the bottom of the ocean,
Yeah.
down to Davy Jones' locker.
So, with that being said, we don't really we probably won't know for a minute now, but like it's not looking good for Obardo and them because like most of them probably have devil fruits, and they're going down. So, but yeah, like I hated to see that because like Bardo is such a cool. Whatever. But it supports my theory, so I'm fine with it.
I don't think it's necessarily that, but I think Shanks ultimately makes a good point when he was talking to Barto earlier.
Yeah.
You disrespected my flag, and now you've disrespected these people. If I don't retaliate, this flag will mean nothing to all the rest of the people in the world who have it as their backing.
Yeah. I mean, Luffy would say the same shit. Like, Luffy literally, the flag is everything to him. You know what I mean? That's the reason why he puts it on the islands that he saves, right?
Yeah.
And he would literally do, like, be mad if somebody did something to his flag on an island that, he was at or whatever. So,
Yeah, like imagine if they did something to Fishman Island's
yeah.
flag after he put it up there.
Luffy would be pissed.
He'd go right back there and he'd go whoop someone's ass.
Yeah. So, I do agree that Shanks had to do something, but it's tragic to see that happen to Bardo, but he's not very smart, Nom. He was gonna get it eventually, so
Yep.
so
Another person though that we have to actually get a recap on. Blackbeard.
yes. Let's go to
So
Beehive Island.
Blackbeard returns home and he finds out that Kobe is now no longer around. He's a little pissed off because Kobe was their best bargaining chip. He was the guy that was going to get them exactly what they needed so that way they didn't have to continue doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore. So he's taking it out on can't remember who it is. The guy that is the land though.
Yeah, I forget his name too, but yeah, the big island dude. Island devil fruit, whatever.
Yep. From there, Kuzan ends up coming in and he's like, "Hey, yeah, we lost Kobe,
But
but don't worry, I got you." He's like, "Oh yeah, and how's that?" He's like, "Oh yeah, have you heard of a man named Garp?"
Surely y'all have.
He's like, "Oh, my bad, Kuzan. I was unfamiliar with your game."
And I found it so funny, Dom. Kuzan's just like, yeah, it was kind of an accident because we
We
thought he was
thought we killed
dead,
him.
but he wasn't actually. So here you go, boss. It was so
He's like, "How
funny.
did you do that?" "Oh, it only took all of us."
Shit. I love that shit so much. But this is the first time we actually get to know about Garb. We thought he was dead for a long time. So, um, good thing we know he's alive now. So that's good news, right, Nom?
Very good news.
Yeah.
Unless you're Garp.
Yeah.
Uh, we also find out that Blackbeard has Pudding in his possession now.
Yeah. I think we knew about
Pudding is
that
able
one.
to read the
Poneglyph.
road
Yeah.
poneglyphs.
I think we actually got shown that once before, like a while back ago. I think.
Yeah, it's for further confirmation.
Yeah, it's to bring it back up because it was one of those things where it just like touched on it as they was going around the world that one time, right? Kind of like BB's up in the sky with Wapo and the Morgan thing or whatever. So uh,
Exactly.
things you forget about. So
Yep. Um, Aside from that, we also see that Blackbeard is still spying on the Revolutionary Army,
mm-hmm.
and their plan to starve the Celestial Dragons on the Red Line in Mirijoy is still in effect.
Going really well.
The the gondolas that are going up, they keep attacking them, so they can't actually get to the top with any of the food.
Mm-hmm.
And the celestial dragons just keep freaking out because they're a bunch of useless twits that can't do anything for themselves.
Yeah, I think the last episode we seen, like we seen celestial dragons actually like killing people because they wasn't getting exactly what they wanted to eat or whatever, right? So it's only going to
Yep.
get worse up there. I think either he said or his dude did spying said something like if a celestial dragon dies of hunger or starvation, it's going to be like
It's
yeah,
unprecedented. It's never
unprecedented.
happened before.
We're seeing like a lot of unprecedented, like they're using the word unprecedented a lot more now, which is really cool to see because that's how you know we're in there, like we're in the end game now. So um
Yeah. These are things that have never happened in history and shouldn't happen in history and yet are happening.
yeah. um a couple more things though that's really cool for like in game stuff is like you know Bardo, like the fact that Shanks attacked Bardo, you know, and sank his ship. I feel like Bardo's still Luffy's friend, and we all know like how Luffy feels about like friends getting attacked or whatever, especially if they happen to die or you know or whatever. um
Oh yeah.
so I feel like that's in game type shit too, because like that's creating a spark between Shanks and Luffy, um, which I think is going to lead us into the end game as well. And also like Garp being alive, that also is like a spark for Luffy because like now you know Luffy has a reason to not like Luffy has a reason for Blackbeard now too. You know what I mean? Because he's got his grandpa or whatever. So, really setting up a lot of things, and plus Puddin too, right? Like, I don't know if they're like exactly friends with Puddin, but like you know, Sanji and Puddin kind of had like a relationship, you know. So, uh, it's gonna be interesting to see how all this plays out. But that's what Oda does good. So,
Yeah, for
mm-hmm.
sure. um Now that that's done, though, we get back to the giant ship, and they still have not made it to Elbaf. They've been sailing for about 2 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's something more concerning at play. The Thousand Sunny is gone.
Rip,
Several crew members are gone.
double rip.
And after the end credits, Nami wakes up in a weird hallway made out of Legos. Actually made out of Legos. I'm not even kidding. There's like the little circular pegs and everything all over the place.
Yeah,
And
I got a question about that. I'm gonna let you finish though.
she's also in a brand new outfit.
Yeah, yeah, she is. I recognize it too. So but yeah, the Lego things I literally wrote down in my notes. I said, "Is this next episode just One Piece Lego collaboration?"
Don't you spoil it.
That's what I said. But my question is that like is it really just One Piece Lego collaboration? Like, did they do
No.
Legos in the manga too? Like, did it look like
Yes.
Legos? Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
Okay.
it's full on like obviously I don't want to
Yeah,
spoil
yeah. You don't
anything.
have to elaborate, but yeah.
It is part of Elbaf, right?
Okay.
It's not like this, it's not a side fucking like arc that we get like we used to back in the early Grand Line days. No, this is actually part of Elbaf.
I
This
thought
is part of the story.
I really thought I was like, you know, because I seen something about Lego One Piece stuff, you know, coming in the future. I was like, are they just like throwing in a filler episode, like some kind of filler episode, like promoting the Lego collaboration or something? So
No, this is actually real One Piece manga
yeah,
at work here.
but yeah, who's all missing? It's Zoro, Sanji, Nami, Luffy. Who else? Jinbei?
Usopp.
Usopp is missing too. Okay.
Yeah, Jinbei is not missing. Jinbei is
Okay.
on the ship.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
I was trying to remember. I know I've seen Frankie, and I know I've seen
Jinbei, Bonnie,
yeah
Robin,
yeah
and I want to
Robert
say Chopper.
Robert made a joke. I loved it. The dry humor joke or whatever. Yeah. So she was like, the fish are so big it could have just swallowed them up. But yeah,
Don't say that.
yeah.
Please don't say that.
But yeah, really good setup, I think. So I hate that the crew got split up, but you know, hopefully everything turns out okay. So
It will.
yeah,
It will for sure. But yeah, no. Ultimately, that was the end of the episode. It is a pure one-to-one recreation of the chapter that it adapted.
hell yeah, love to see it.
Literally one-to-one.
Can't wait for next week's Legoland One Piece episode. also,
Yeah, no, that'll be pretty good.
also, I want to see the rest of the fits, even though I've already seen previews of them. So
I think it's 2 more episodes we get of Legoland.
yeah, then the fit, I
One of
guess.
them one of them actually sets up the fact that we are in Legoland and we'll be leaving Legoland.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. I'm glad we knew that One Piece coming back. You know, the first episode was going to be, you know, not a lot happening. You know, had to get back into it. That's the way One Piece does. So, but we should start getting some pretty cool moments now. So, but yeah, you got anything else for One Piece, real quick?
No, I it's a super short episode, man. It was literally just recapping what
Yeah,
we've already gotten and still not setting up.
yeah. Party time or whatever. So, but with that being said, that is going to be the end of this rundown episode. Make sure you let us know in the comments or whatever what you think the third show is going to be. We have, you know, we have a couple different options, you know, that we're thinking about. So, which one do you think we're going to choose? It's going to be interesting to see if y'all get it right or not. But anyways, make sure you follow us on everything. Give us a like on YouTube, all that good stuff. Linktree.com/anime Degens. Next week, for the Degen episode, I have a guest on and we will be talking about the Crunchyroll Awards. And just like going over our picks, I guess, and yeah, you know, just talking about like usual Crunchyroll stuff, like you know what they did wrong, maybe what they should change if they want to be looked at as a legitimate award show or whatever, like they want to be so badly, all that good stuff. So um yeah, we'll see you then, I guess.